Jan, Blake, how you doing?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm good, thank you, Tad. I'm very
Right,
good, thanks.
good to see you. Okay, so you said aside from performing stories, Jan's an incredible storyteller. FYI, if you're into traditional folk tales, oh man, you just hold on to your socks and your hat. You're gonna get blown off. So I help other storytellers to develop their work. I'd like to start a mentorship program, but that's because that's what I can offer now, right? I'd like to develop it with you. Am I wrong and think this is my low-hanging fruit? Well, how many people do you have that if you offered one, you think would say yes?
So far, three people. I have offered it. Basically, I'm one of these people who says I'm going to do something and then follow the steps to doing it after I've put it out there. So I've put it out there,
Mhm.
and already I have four people who said they're interested.
Amazing.
Put it out 2 weeks ago. One person I'm going to discount because I got him. He was the only Facebook lead. He's a Dutch storyteller, and I went on his page, and there's images of photographs of him in blackface. So he's not doing the course, but
Yeah.
the other, but the other three people who are interested in the course, they're basically waiting in the wings for me to tell them what the next stage is. So I've got three definites.
Okay. And what's the maximum capacity?
I think 8 to 10 people,
Okay.
and I've got a clear idea of how I'd like to do it. I'm not. I'm totally business not savvy. I don't know. I'm literally an absolute beginner in approaching all of this, but I also know that because of my experience and my reputation, I've taught courses before. Uh, because all the work's moved online for now, I
Yeah.
think this is something I can offer online. Um, I just and I have a very clear idea of how I think it could work.
Mhm.
But as I said, I've got three people so far after 2 weeks, and I don't want to go beyond 10 because of what I think the offer could be, which is to help them to design shows. I mean, I've done it before loosely. People have
Yeah.
come here, I've offered bed and breakfast, and to help people develop a particular show. So I'm thinking of doing that online, but with the addition of maybe looking at the energy of one evening's performance. How many stories do they want in there? What's the flow, the energy of that story, of that performance? Where
Yeah.
do they want to take the audience at different stages of the evening? Are they going to start with a 5 minute story? Are they going to do a one epic story? Just the balance and flow of the night, and to try and get them to create five of those shows. And within that, then I could do the one-to-one mentoring of their performance.
Uh-huh. Got it. Got it. So it's not just kind of abstract performance coaching, it's we're going to help you build these shows.
Yeah,
And you think five is a doable thing? You could help them. How long is this mentorship, by the way?
I don't know. That's why I have
Okay.
no idea.
So, and how much are you going to charge for it?
I have no idea. That's
Okay.
why I'm here basically to learn these things. When I was doing my storytelling course in my tent in the garden,
Yeah.
each module, each person paid £500 per module. So the four modules. I had 8 people at £500 per module. I don't know if I'm undercharging. I don't know if I'm overcharging. I did do a kind of concessions fee for people who were like single moms or students and things like that. They got their discount. But because this is a new, I feel like for me, it's a new level.
Yeah.
I want to see the best way to position it.
Okay. So, okay. First of all, I'm gonna just email you
How long are the Legos taking to transfer?
someone you got.
How
Oh, there.
long
Here it is. Well,
are
you've already.
the Legos?
Actually, just joined. Okay. Um. So, yeah. Well, man, it sounds like you're designing it. It's great. I would say yes. Basically, is this low hanging fruit? It sounds like it. If you've already gotten this kind of response,
Okay.
it's the place to start when you're looking at your business model, this idea of the sales funnel. To me, the place to start is designing the most expensive thing, designing the gold offer, and working backwards from there.
Okay.
Because I mean, first of all, gosh, if you can fill the gold thing, fill the gold thing. Like, why spend years writing blog posts and doing videos that you don't get paid for if you could just get paid for the thing and work with the people you actually want to work with?
Okay.
Yeah, so amen. I just think absolutely jump on that. And then it's, to me, it's a really important piece of there's the lifestyle consideration, which is, and sometimes we don't know these things until we do it. But when I hear you say 8 or 10, I notice when you say 10, you're kind of like, that's definitely the top. So I might
Yeah.
not go above 9. I might do 8 for the first year just to see, just so you don't burn yourself out.
Okay.
And then to look at it, it's like, okay, how much money do I need to make from this? Like, how much time will I be spending on it per week or per day? How accessible will I be to them? The link I sent to you, if you all check it out in the group, here, I'll just put it in the chat below. But it's got 33 examples of things you can add to a premium offer. And these are just really good to get very conscious of and clear about beforehand. But so, for example, for people in my mentorship program, there's an app called Voxer, and they can just send me little voice notes and texts, and I reply to them when I can. So, there's that, but then it's, okay, how much time would I be spending on that? So in this membership program, I had to get, like, how much time am I going to spend? I thought 30 minutes a day. That's what I can commit to. I can do 30 minutes. It'll probably be a bit more for the first 2 weeks because we're, having glitches and all that and getting started. But so it's good to be very clear about the parameters. And once you know what the parameters are, like, okay, there'll be this many sessions a week, there'll be this much time. Well, I'll need to prepare for them. Okay, wait, so an hour before each session and maybe half an hour after for follow-up, we're going to schedule that in. And then I imagine I'll be, if they send me voice notes, that'll be like, let's say half an hour a day. So let me schedule that in. And you kind of look at what a weekly schedule would be during it.
Right.
And give yourself a little bit of extra buffer time that you're not anticipating, because that'll unexpected will happen. And then it's asking, how much money do I need to make for this to feel really good? And because also factoring in, I'll be giving some scholarships, maybe I'll be giving discounts to some people, so then other people may need to pay more.
Yeah.
It's just good that it's not something we resent, that we don't price it in such a way that we're like, oh God, I'm doing way too much work for way too little money.
Right.
Other ways that one can factor this in is I mean, you could just tell people, it's like, look, I'm charging this amount because I give scholarships to some. You could have a scholarship fund that you invite people to contribute to when they sign up, is a possibility. But yeah, once you've designed it, I mean, it's a simple way of saying it is the offer has to be attractive to them, but also attractive to us. It's got to work on both sides. It's got to be a win for them and a win for us. Because you could design an offer that they will love and it will burn us all into the ground with the amount of work it asks for us. So it's got to be something that we look at. It's like, man, I'd be stoked. Holy crap, I could do this. Is how I could spend my life. That's what I want to do. And also that they would look at and say, what? For I only paid this much and I get that much. That's the goal. That's the dream. And I'm also a fan of the under promise and over deliver. And it might be one of these things where it's like, look, we'll do 3 evenings or 2 or 1. It can be that. To pick something that feels very, you feel very confident that you could deliver. So let's say it's 3 and you do it for 8. For the 8 of you, you're going to come up with 3 evenings. And if we can do more, we will. But I'm going to walk you through this process. And then you fill it. I mean, it sounds like let's say you said 8 people, or let's say you said 9. Well, you're a third full already. And then there's a process of filling it. There's a process of how do you get more interest. And part of this can be designing what I call the 101, the kind of intro workshop. And so that might be, in your case, Jan, something like a 90-minute Zoom call where you say, I'm just going to walk you through how you do this, how to create a show, as a storyteller, because I want you to understand. And you basically give as much away as you can in the 90 minutes. You're kind of giving the context of it. You're saying, here's the first thing to look at. You got to look at the opening, and then you got to look at the closing, and then you got to look at the arc that you want to take people on, and you got to choose the stories, and you've got to choose, the regalia you're going to wear that evening. You got to choose the lighting, like all those things. You would walk them through it all. Because what happens is people think, but Tad, you couldn't give it away. Why would they pay you? Because they need to translate it to their own situation. I mean, do you think I haven't like I've given away all my shit on Nation. I'm really not holding it. There's no special sauce you get or that people in the mentorship program really get, except more of my time. But in terms of info, no. And people go through it and then they say, okay, but wait, how does this apply to me? I remember working with this somebody who was did video, basically photo and video for nonprofits. And he said, yeah, one of the big things, of course, is fundraising videos they need help with. And so he said, I don't know how to get gigs with these nonprofits. I said, I tell you what you do. I said, first of all, as like a Pink Spoon is a free offer, you should create some kind of PDF they can download of like 3 ways to fund your fundraising video. Here's how to get the money, you know, maybe there's grants, maybe crowdfunding, etc. I said the main thing I do is I would do a day-long workshop showing them how to make their own fundraising video, or an evening workshop, how to make a fundraising video using your iPhone and iMovie. I tell them everything. Like, well, you've got to sync up the visual transitions with the audio. You've got to duck the audio. You've got lighting. That's a thing. Audio, that's a piece. And you just teach them everything they need to know. And what'll happen is at the end of it, 10% of them will say, thanks so much, and go do it on their own. And 90% will just lean back and say, oh shit, can we just hire you? That seems impossible and overwhelming, because you told them the truth of what it actually takes to do it right. So I could see that, you know, where you say, look, and you could give examples in this like a Zoom call. You can say, look, here's a show I did that I was really proud of. Here's one I did that didn't work so well. And here's why I think it didn't work is, you know, you give them all these examples, or here's a show I saw, you know, and that worked really well. And here's what it was about it. You give a few, and anyways, at the end of that, you say, so look, if this resonates with you, if you'd like my help, there's 5 or 6 spaces left in this thing. You know, feel free to email me if you have any questions, but here's a link to the sales letter. And for all of you, it's probably in the program, but let me just see if it's here. There's a little outline of a sales letter. Sales letter. Yeah, there we go. It's a 16-point outline of a solid sales letter. This is something I cobbled together with stuff from colleagues. I'm just posting it at the bottom there.
Okay, great.
But then you do the write-up of it, and you say, look, if you'd like to book here, go here, read this. It'll describe what the hell this is, and email me if you have any questions. And then you may need to chat with people, you know. Yeah, so that's the general thing I would do is like, hey, if you're a storyteller, you're looking to do more shows, I've got this thing. It's a 90-minute thing. You could charge for it. It could be free. It's kind of a personal choice. I might charge something, you know, 15 pounds or something for it. And then people book in, and you just share your point of view. This is how I think you construct a good show. This is what a good performance is.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and here's all the things that I think people miss out on when they're designing this. These are the things to think about in designing these kind of intro for most of you, your service providers, I cannot strongly enough urge for you to design your 101 presentation, the kind of basic, and the things to be thinking about is like, what are the blunders that people make when trying to solve this problem that you help them solve? What are the myths that people believe about it? What are the lies that we're told about it? You know, it's all this point of view work. The point of view marketing ebook you all have access to or a discount on. There's a bunch of videos I've got around point of view. I don't know if they're up in the program, but if you go to YouTube under my playlist, point of view, there's tons on SoundCloud. It's all there as well. You know, and eventually you get Venn diagrams, you get little charts you can show of here's my method, this is my model. And, you know, you can do that, and that can work very well. And it gets better and better. And this is the thing with the 101 presentation. The more you do it, the better it gets. So, and it's a real useful thing where you can, well, one of the things you can do is you can record this. And you can say, oh, you can't make it? Hey, here's a recording. People can just watch it on your website. It could literally be on the sales letter, you know, the write-up for it. And then you get this growing group of people who say, man, I really like the approach. That makes sense to me. It's the whole point of view marketing thing I, bang on about all the time. So there you go. Those are my thoughts.
That's so doable as well. You know,
Yeah.
it sounds so simple. I mean, it is so simple and so doable. And because my demographic is storytellers who've been at it between 2 and 10 years,
Yeah.
never worked with anyone who's been doing it longer than that, because I reckon they should be an expert by that time. So I don't want to work with experts. I want to work with people who are kind of thinking, is it me? Am I really what I think I am? They're the ones I want to work with. So, and that is so doable, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. And you might be surprised that some of the experts are like, Jan, I've wanted to work with you my whole life. Are you kidding me? Chance to learn from you. So I wouldn't discount that there might be people who've had some time in who would be so just chomping at the bit to get to work with you.
Yeah.
And then, here's the last thing I would just say with the intro presentation. You're like, well, this is great, but where the hell do I do it? Where do I perform it? Who do I show it to? This is where the hub marketing comes in. So you just think about, well, okay, who's already connected? Who hosts, these people? And so there's all the storytelling networks all around the world.
Yeah.
Every storytelling association, every storytelling group, every, those little like the Crick Crack Club I heard about, these places where people go to tell stories, the kind of open mic things. You can start to make a database of those, and you start to reach out to them. You pick the biggest ones you can get first, and you just say, hey, would you like to host this? I've come up with this. I think it's really relevant to the times. And they say, great. And then there's a couple things you can do. They may just want to host it for you and be thrilled to do it, but you could also incentivize them. You could say, hey, and if you host it, you keep all the money from hosting the intro. You charge whatever you want. And keep all the money, because I'll make the money if they sign up for my thing, and this can incentivize them further. But it depends. They may just, you may not need to do that, but that's an option to know. I would say in the absence of a very strong personal relationship, because some people just like, Jan, I love you. Oh my God, your money's no good here. It'd be that. But for other people, it would be, they don't know you. They're, who the hell are you, Jan? Who? And then it's like, well, hey, you can make some money. Oh, Jan Blake, you said, now they're very interested. Anyways, I'm taking my extra time on this because this is something that's so relevant to everybody here in my experience. This 101 kind of basic presentation hosted by a hub who they fill the thing for you. That's what I'm saying. You don't fill it yourself, because if you try to fill it yourself, you can fill 2 or 3, and then your people, they're done. They've all gone to your thing. But a different hub could host, they could fill it. And then in that presentation, it's not a 90-minute pitch or a half hour, however long it is. It's not you saying, here's why I'm so great and hire me. It's saying, hey, here's my opinion. You want to be a better storyteller. You want to, I remember seeing it just comes up around storytelling. There was a course around, the hell was it? Public speaking. And the first headline they had was Public Speaking 101. That's a pretty good headline. It's clear. It's a basics on public speaking. And okay. Then they improved it. And the next version was how to speak confidently in front of a group or something like this. Now that's even better, because I don't just want to learn to speak. I want to not be shaking as I speak. The third headline they came up with was how to get a standing ovation every time you speak, or something like that. It's like, okay, that's even more. So, this can be the type of thing where you're getting very clear about what I would call island B, the end result. And so what is that for them? What is it that they're most craving? Like how to hold an audience in rapt attention for your whole show. Do they want a standing ovation at the end? Do they want, like you could even name the program that, like, you could hear a pin drop, as a name of a program or as a headline or as a sub headline in it. But you start to speak to these, the things they're craving. It's like, so it's like, you want a standing ovation. You want to be able to hear a pin drop. You want, this makes you think in improv, sometimes introducing shows to welcome to theater sports. We're going to sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge. Monday. Like a big trucker thing. Anyways, they're sitting on the edge of their seat, whatever that is. But then you say, okay, that's what you want. It's understandable. Don't all storytellers want that? But how do you do it? Here's my opinion. And by the way, in the sales letter, you can also write about what are all the struggles storytellers go through in the beginning. This can be a part of the intro. It's like you've probably told stories and you notice that people falling asleep, drifting off, checking their phone. I don't know, what is it for a storyteller where they like, oh, it's not working. This is island A. This is what I don't want. Oh man, uh, yeah, people leaving saying, thanks, that was neat. Instead of, oh my God, that was so powerful. Like, and then the whole intro. Anyways, I hope you can hear, all of you can hear, this isn't just Jan, this is for all of you. It's like, what is it that they're craving the most? Where are they at? And then you're just saying, here's how I would bridge that gap. These are the elements I think you need to focus on. This is what is most important. These are the core principles at work. And yeah, and then the pitch is such a light thing. People tend to think of the pitch as the big thing. Oh, that's where all the marketing is doing the pitch at the end to work with you. And it's just not. It's a very small thing. The pitch, again, is basically, if you liked that, here's where you can get more. That's basically it. So for all of you, just consider this a kind of long-term homework in this mentorship or membership thing, is to come up with that intro presentation. Now that hinges on the niche, knowing the journey you're helping people with, and who the hell you're helping. But once you've got that, boy, you just get that hosted everywhere. Another version of this, by the way, is podcasts. You'd be interviewed on podcasts, and you basically do the presentation in answer to questions. You can even send the podcaster the questions to ask you. You can do that. A lot of them are happy to do it, and you're being introduced to a new audience. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested, I've only got 3 spaces left. Oh, this is the other thing. In the lead up to these things, you can and probably should do multiple intro workshops. Because then every time, let's just say you get 1 person sign up every time. Well, next time you do it, hey, there's only 5 spots. Oh, only 4 spots left. Only 3 spots left. Only 2. And the more scarce it gets, the faster they move, understandably. So, okay, wow, we went over time, but that was just such one of those relevant to everybody kind of questions.